Welcome to Week 2 of New Testament Exposition 1. Dr. Brian Tucker and I have designed this course to allow you to have a thorough grounding in the various topics related to the New Testament. The second week you will study Jesus, the gospel relationships, and the gospel according to Matthew. Sounds like quite a bit, but we'll provide you with a series of concepts that equip you with a graduate level awareness of these theories, recognizing that there's still much to learn. We will begin with a discussion of the chronology of the life of Jesus that begins with his birth, and then moves to the ministry of John the Baptist and Jesus. We will then continue our discussion with the duration of Jesus' ministry, and conclude with the date of the death of Jesus. The next major section discusses the synoptic problem, which is the consideration of the literary relationship between Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Here we'll discuss the four types of similarities: words, order, parenthetical material, and Old Testament equations. After a survey of this material, we'll discuss the various explanations for the similarities between the Gospels, and the vast majority of the time will be spent on discussing the three dominant views of the literary interdependence of the Gospels: the Augustinian view, the two Gospels view of the relationship, and the two-document hypothesis. Next, we'll turn our attention specifically to the Gospel of Matthew. After an introduction of its key facts and broad units, we will discuss its authorship, date, provenance, destination, and purpose. Then we'll survey Matthew's literary structure. Here we will talk about its occasion and some of the literary characteristics of the Gospel. The 5 discourses will be introduced as a probable structure for the work, and we will round out our discussion of Matthew by discussing 3 of its theological themes: Jesus as the fulfillment of the Old Testament messianic predictions, Jesus as the new Moses, Jesus as a Davidic king, and finally, we will close with a brief listing of Matthew's unique contribution to the canon of Scripture. As you begin your studies this week, make sure you pay particular attention to the study questions. These provide an acute guide for your studies and later assessment in this course. As you do your reading in your textbook, this week pages 136 to 77 and 178 to 226, you'll notice places where I follow closely with the book and other places where I divert a bit. However, the course will stay quite close to the cradle, cross, and the crown, and when I divert, I'll provide references for you so you can locate the works to view for your own personal teaching ministry. References are in the bibliography folder for this week. Make sure you have uninterrupted time to view this week's narrated video, and don't forget to download the script that allows you to follow along as you listen. As you prepare for this week, your assignments, and as you saw last week, will also be in the discussion board. The first discussion board asks you to interpret the claim that Matthew's Gospel is anti-Jewish. The second board has you trying out your chosen approach to the synoptic problem by using the parable of the mustard seed and leaven from Matthew 13:31 to 35 and its parallels. These discussion boards ask you to apply what you've learned, and you'll have to do further research to answer these questions fully, but concisely, because you're limited to 150 words per post. You should post your answer to each question, and then after you've done that, in other words, don't read other people's answers before you write your own answer. Then you read the responses of other students, and write posts to 2 of them. I hope you enjoy the second week of your studies in the New Testament, and I look forward to sharing with you this important information about the life of Jesus, the synoptic problem, and the Gospel according to Matthew.